What is up, everybody? Cartes here, Move Abroad and Thrive. Today, I am doing some day trading by myself. Since the last video we did with Robert, kind of showing us a day in the life of a day trader, I decided to hop in and start learning. So I've been learning for the last 2 weeks, going through his program, watching videos, doing some paper trading, and then doing a bunch of live trading with him via Zoom. So in the morning, I get on at 8 a.m. our time because we're Central Time. Get on at 8 a.m. We kind of talk a little bit. One of the things we do is look at the CNBC website, which kind of gives you the 5 things you need to know for the day as it relates to the market and what's going on in the market. So just over these last 2 weeks, I've been learning a lot. Today, the trading day, Friday. Normally, he would be trading, and the other guys that join us on the Zoom on the live trading. But today, he had some work he needed to get done. So there wasn't a live thing today, but I felt confident enough to hop on, put in my trade. So this would be the first trade I put on by myself, and I'm going to show you my screen just to kind of show you some things. So like I said, one of the things we do in the morning, we look at the 5 things to know on CNBC, and so just kind of talk about what's going on, because a lot of this stuff here will affect how the market moves. And so this is some of the most recent news, and and again, you taking data, you kind of trying to predict how things are going to move. But the beauty with Robert's training, you don't have to necessarily predict. You just have to be mindful of what some of this news could do to the numbers and the data that you get. So one of the things is he has this formula, and I don't know if it's unique to him or not, but he has this formula where he kind of help us compile some numbers and some data, and so we can kind of get an idea of how the market is expected to move, and kind of some of his numbers will allow us to hop in at a certain point, far away or far above or far below, so our risk level is a little lower. One of the things he talks about is, and you hear him talk about his goal, another way to minimize risk. The thing he's trying to do is just really earn 0.5% to 1% a day. And it don't sound like a lot, but 20 trading days in a month, 19, I think, on average. If you're earning, say, 0.5% over 20 days, every day for 20 days, that's 10%. If you are really great and let's say you're earning 1% a day, that's 20% in a month that you earn on your money. And so I'm seeing that firsthand, and I'll show you my account here. I started out with $5,000. It was $5,004 to be exact. And so I finally hopped in and kind of started playing around. So my account is at like $5,100. And I'll show you this just because I want you to see. So $4.30 is what I had in my account in January of 2026, January 5th. I did January 4th, there was $4.37. And then I did a wire transfer and deposited $5,000 US. So that took my balance up to $5,004. And so I started trading, and that day, And again, this was live trading, so he was kind of holding my hand and just kind of guiding me through the process and whatnot. And I was, and the thing about it with this live call, there'd be like 2 and 3 other people on the thing, and they each have their trading style. One guy is ultra conservative, so some of the stuff that we hop into, he's like, nope, I just want to make my little bit and be out. So it's always great to see how these other traders are doing. Another guy, a little more riskier, and I'm told he used to be really riskier, but over the months he started to come back and started to be a little bit more conservative, not as conservative as the other guy. So I'm watching these guys and I'm like, okay, so I'm picking a little bit from here. Hey man, why don't you do that? And we're on this Zoom for like 8 hours, from like 8 in the morning till, is it 2 p.m. our time? Yeah, I think it's 2 p.m. or is it 3 p.m.? I think it's 3 p.m. I can't remember. I got so many appointments in my head running around with folks, but when the market closes, so we're on almost 8 hours, and you picking their brain, you asking questions, they showing you stuff, showing you tips, and so I was like, man, this is the way to go. But anyhow, so it went from $35, and now the next day I'm $67. Like I say, 0.5% is the goal. Some days you might get more. So this one here, $98. I guess this must not have been a trading day, I think. I can't remember. So Saturday and Sunday, the markets are closed. Monday jumped back in. Now we're up to $145. So yeah, traded 3 days that week. And then this week, up to 145, then up to almost $200. And then on this day, just a couple of days ago, went from 191. This was going to be a really good day. I think on this day, it would have, if 191 would have turned into like 275 or something. But you got to watch these charts, man. You got to watch the software. You got to watch the platform. I'm still learning, clicking things around. And so I lost a few dollars. Not bad, like $124, $125 over a technicality. It happens. Better to learn now than later. You know what I mean? But if you hop back in, and so as of today, as of this record, I'm at $5,128. Now, I got a trade on. Now, this is my trade that I'm doing by myself. Remember that number, $5,128. And look at this. So I got a trade in. Let me make this smaller. So I got a trade in, and look at this number here. Remember that number, 5,128? So with my trade today, if it's a success, my account will end with $5,204. And I did the math on that. So that means if this goes through today, I will actually earn 1.5% on my 5,000 just for today. So my $5,128 becomes $5,204. I'm talking about this thing up here. 5,204 minus 5,128. So that's $76 I will earn today on my $5,000. So actually a little more than 1.5, slightly higher than 1.5%. So, I mean, look, let's say I'm just earning, not even, let's just say I'm earning 0.5% per day on my 5,000. Make sure I get that right. Bear with me for a second. That's like $25. Don't sound like much. But if it's 10, let's say 20 trading days in a month, I mean, that's $500. That's 10%. You know what I mean? 10% a month. Now, as you saw, some days it might make half a percent. Other days you might make 1%. Other days you might make 1.5%. Like today, if that works out, So, and 500 bucks on $5,000 that would otherwise just be sitting in a savings account, and I might make, man, it take damn near 10 years to get, probably 20 years to get $500 at the bank on your money. I mean, I had big chunks of money just sitting in my account, and at the end of the month, I open up my account, and they say, "Oh, we paid you $5 interest." I'm like, "What? That's all I made?" So day trading, is it risky? Absolutely. Like anything, I think they say 90% of traders below their account don't win at this thing, and I'm no different than everybody, them other 90%. But with some instruction and some emergency stops in place, where if I don't get out of the market, the software will get me out. To minimize risk. Name of the game is minimizing the risk. And so these are charts that we got going on. I'm not educated enough to explain what's going on. I kind of still, all this stuff is still jumbled in my head. Right now we're an hour into the market being open, and so this is a little morning high, morning low that I got, and so it's kind of breaking through. These are my little yellow caution lines. If it gets past these lines on the low side or on the high side, that's when you kind of start paying attention. But I was talking to Robert about that the other day. I was like, well, if I'm going to be sitting here watching this thing, I'm liable to get nervous and jump out and making an emotional decision and not a rational decision, but I'm like, but hey man, if these numbers and this formula is accurate the vast majority of the time, and even if I lose or if an emergency stop gets used from time to time, I still want to make a profit. I think, hey man, that's the way I'm going to go. I'm not going to be sitting here watching this thing all willy-nilly, getting all nervous and whatnot. You know what I mean? Because that's what happens in the regular stock market. People, stocks go down, everybody want to jump out, and they lose money. And, so let me hop over here. So the other thing, a few little things, I generally have a bunch of news websites up. I got Trump's Truth Social up, because again, news call this the market to move. It can call it the rumble. It can call it to go plummet, call it to go straight through the roof. And, so I got some stuff set up, alerts set up. So whenever this guy here, this brother start talking, I want to know as soon as he puts something up online, because it can affect this market. I mean, we've been in this market, like I said, I've been watching it for 2 weeks now, and what happens is there was one day Trump posted a thing, and the thing went down 30, 40 minutes later. First he made a post online on his Truth Social site, then 45 minutes later it was running across the news, and you can literally see the market. It was timed perfectly with one of the posts that he had. So it's one of them things, man, where you just gotta, I forgot to set these alerts on these caution lines. So I'm gonna do that in a moment, but I'm gonna come back on throughout the day and just kind of share a little more, because I'm not gonna be in front of the computer all day. I'm gonna set up my alerts, and I'm gonna be watching the news, paying attention, and doing some other work here at the computer, which gives me the ability to kind of go back and forth. I like this because, with this relocation work that I do, I'm out all day, I'm gone all day, taking people around, dealing with multiple personalities, and putting out fires, and in some cases dealing with a whole lot of drama. And this right here, I'm like, man, I'd rather be doing this. and then it also allows me to do other work online. So one of the things I do is I build courses, online courses. So like Robert's online trading course, I worked with him. We put that together and helped them package it all up, come up with a syllabus, help them, market and promote his training program. And we just continue to tweak. So that's what I do. That's what I really enjoy. And so being here these last 2 weeks has given me a chance to kind of jump back into some more course creation. I'm creating some more courses. I was supposed to have 10 courses created 2 years ago, but I only got one created. Just so busy. So I'm sitting at my computer cranking out a new course, and I'll share that with you. And hopefully over the next 3 months, I have 3 more courses. And hopefully by the end of the year, I have those 10 that I was supposed to have. And so this gives me freedom and time to do other things at the computer since I'm here and I'm at home. So I've kind of scaled back on a lot of the relocation, but for those of you all that are serious and still need help looking for a place, don't hesitate to reach out. And for those, if you're interested in learning more about Robert's training, visit his site, www.slowlifetrading.com. I'll put a link in the comments in the description, but don't go away because I'm going to keep updating you. You should see the next clip momentarily. How do I stop this? I just want to pause. Yeah, man. So I wanted to show this to y'all because, like I say, whatever going on in the news, I was sitting here looking at this thing, looking like, why is this thing going down? And then, of course, yours truly is over here on the news live, having a round table on healthcare, transforming rural health. I think, the market moves based on what's happening on the news. So I don't know what this guy's talking about now. I'm about to go watch it. Getting towards my little yellow zone that I got right here, but I'm going to keep eye on this a little closer. This is one of those days where you just watch a little close. I haven't set up my alerts yet. So again, these are little tidbits that I'm learning from those guys. Having this thing up, just reading being kept abreast of if he's on there posting anything that could affect it. And right now, like I say, he is. Let's see, sprints ahead in Fed chair raising following Trump's comments. So, I mean, you really, there's a lot of stuff you got to pay attention to. See, once again, he's still talking. So I guess he was supposed to be talking about the, let me jump back to Fox. He's supposed to be talking about this rural health care. But somehow during that conversation, he got to talking about the Fed. You know what I mean? So now you got to kind of watch it. You know what I mean? Previous presidents back in the day, most presidents, they tend not to talk about this type of stuff while the market is open. They generally wait to the end of the day or before the market open. This guy, he don't care. He just do it whenever. You know what I mean? But it looked like folk might have gotten nervous, and then it looked like it's starting to kind of bounce out. This is why I was, when I'm talking to Robert, I'm like, I can't be sitting here watching this, because when things happen, I'm like, look, I'm going to go with the numbers. If the numbers are accurate and the numbers are right overwhelmingly, and it's factored in the fact that you might lose a time or two, but your losses will be minimal. with stops that you have in place to protect you, to get you out, and then you're able to make, and because the formula works so well, and you're not trying to earn 5, 10, 15, 20%, you're just trying to earn a little bit. It might take 5 days to make up your loss, 5 days to make, the loss that I had the other day, with this trade that I got on today, it will have me back in the positive. I'm already at a profit, even with the little loss that I had. I'm still profitable. But the loss that I had the other day, after today, I'm back. It's back. I've recovered in like 2 days, 3 days. The little bit that the $124 that I think I said I lost, I can't remember what that number was, 100 and something dollars that I lost. It's recovered. So, and you just keep playing the system, you keep playing the system, and voila. So, I'm excited. I'm trying to see how to pause this thing because I didn't want to stop it. I wanted to pause it. But anyhow, I'm gonna set my alerts up. I was supposed to do that last time, but I'm going to do that now. And thank y'all for watching, and I'll update you at the end of the day, throughout the day, and we'll see how this trade close out. I'm excited because it's the first time doing it by myself, but I'm still going to continue to hop on the live daily Zoom with Robert and the other guys as we trade live in real time and just kind of see and watch what the other is doing and learning. So. All right, so man, I tell you, I got nervous that the numbers kept going down and down and down. I got shook, man. I got shook up, boy. Let me show you where we are now. So as you can see here, this is where we were at earlier when I started to get a little nervous, and now we're bouncing back. So. I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. I was like, cause I'm by myself, you know what I mean? And I didn't have the other guys, in there to kind of help explain some things. And I've seen this stuff drop like this during the day, why, I just sent Robert a message. I sent him a screenshot. I was like, dude, what's going on, man? This guy's on the internet talking. He's live. I need to get out. And I'm gonna tell you something. The formula, Robert's system, is ironclad. And again, I had this conversation with him last night. We met up, and I was like, I ain't gonna sit here and watch this computer and I said that earlier before I got started, but when it's happening in front of your face and then you see the news and that something's going on, I can't be doing this because I'm gonna jump out, get out too early, or lose money, and I'm gonna trust this program. And he has a book, so he teaches us to write all our trades down on paper every day, all the numbers, all the data, and we can go back and look at it. And so he has years of stuff in his book, years of data compiled of his daily trades. And overwhelmingly, his system keeps him winning. You know what I mean? And again, there's some factors in for the occasional loss, but even with the loss, you stick to the program, stick to the plan, stick to the system, you're gonna win. And like I say, if today ends out, zeroes out, I will have earned 1.5% on my $5,128. So you really, like I said, man, I was scared. I was scared, but there was no need to be. It's going on 11 o'clock our time, which is 12 o'clock Eastern time. So, like I say, now, I want to clarify, Robert and I are friends, so I'm able to kind of hop in his Zoom class, the live daily thing, buddies. But the students, if you decide you want to learn and jump in, with his course, you get one of these free live trades. So you get to spend the full 8 hours on Zoom during that day, get access to the other students that's in the program. Some are more experienced than others, and you get access to that for that one. You get one live Zoom for the day. I just wanted to clarify that it's not a daily thing. If you wanted to hop in more, there's a fee for that, of course, if you wanted to do that, and it's worth it. I mean, because you get your questions answered. But I'm so grateful to be learning this. I intend to stick to this throughout 2026. I would love for this to become my primary way of earning income. I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to let compounding work in my favor. So the profits that I earn, I'm going to leave it in there. I will add some money every month, and I'm gonna stick to the plan. And I've broken down the numbers. Let me see something here. Using his system, and if I'm just earning 1%. Let's see, I broke some numbers down on 5,000. Just want to share that with you. And again, it doesn't seem like a lot, but compounding is your friend. I used to hear people say that all the time, talking about compounding, but I ain't listen. I did not listen. I thought I wrote that down. It must be in my other tablet. So, but yeah, I'd encourage you to learn this. Definitely a great way to make money. And so if all I make is $500 this month, that's $500 more than I had off of $5,000. I mean, think about it. You're gonna take $5,000, you blow it, and you have nothing to show for it. But with this, you're earning an extra $500 a month on the low side, and you still have the principal $5,000. How can you lose? And then next month you'll be trading with $5,500, and then the month after that you'll be trading with a little over $6,000, and it continues to grow. So essentially, every 10 months, hypothetically, I guess you would almost double your money. Is that right? At 10% per month. I can say some months you might have more, some months you might have a little less. So, just wanted to share that. I got my alerts, so I'm backing away from the computer today. I'm gonna trust the process. I'm gonna trust the system. And if something flags me, and then I'll run back to the computer only when the alerts go on. And in this case, as you see, we got down, but the alert wouldn't have been activated because it wasn't in my little danger zone. So over here freaking yourself out. And that's something I ain't gonna do. So I'm gonna leave from the computer, won't come back to it until I get another alert. I might stick my head in here periodically just to see, not periodically, maybe once unless that alert gets triggered. So I'm gonna trust the process so far. For the last couple of weeks that I've been with Robert, and tracking of my trades and writing my stuff down, it worked out. All right, so I just want to kind of jump back in and give y'all an update. It's about 2 o'clock our time, 3 o'clock Eastern time. We're 1 hour behind. The market's going to be closing in about an hour, about 56 minutes to be exact. And I just wanted to kind of give you an update. Let me reduce this screen. As you can see, everything is holding steady. I'm well within my ranges, and at the top and the bottom. And after having this little scare earlier this morning, things have just kind of returned back to normal and has been going lateral. As you can see, like I say, one of the things Robert talked about is in this type of trading, in this type of business, we make money whether the market goes down, whether it goes up, whether it goes sideways. Doesn't matter the direction. With the strategy that he teaches, we make money no matter what the market is doing, which makes it safe. It's kind of hard to predict if it's going to go down or up, or if it's going to stay up or down. But with this model, we're good. So it's amazing. So we got about an hour. I'm going to come back and I'm going to I'm gonna get back about 3 minutes before the bell ring, closing out the market, and see what it does. That'll be 1.5% earned on the 51.28. You can't beat that. So also I've been saying the market opens up at 9 or 8 or something. I've been saying it all wrong. I want to clarify, we are 1 hour behind. We get together at, the members get together at 8 o'clock on the Zoom, the ones that are going to be doing the live Zoom. So they get on at 8 o'clock our time. We do 30 minutes of prepping, going over the news, trying to figure out what that means for the market. And then the market opens at 8:30 our time, which is 9:30 Eastern time, and closes at 4 o'clock Eastern, which is 3 p.m. Eastern our time. I think in the spring, when the time changes in the States, we'll have to get up a little. Our time don't change, so we'll be getting out of the market at 2 p.m. And so the 2 hour time difference and whatnot. But if y'all haven't read this book, I'd encourage you to get it, whether you're trading or not. The Psychology of Money. It's a great book. It's given me some new insight into to a lot of the things I've been thinking about money and the hang-ups I've had about money, and it's given me a whole new perspective. This strategy, like I say, that Robert is teaching, we're just letting the money roll over, compound and add a little bit when you can. When you have some extra money, you add a little bit. Next week, I'm going to add a couple of thousand more, so I'll have a little more power, more earning capability. And, and I'm going to try and grow this thing. As with anything, there's always a risk. And, that's the part where it comes to sticking to a system and whatnot. I will say, as you can see here, this is where it went down earlier, and I got nervous and whatnot. I've been following the Truth Social website, that the president is on, and I was sharing with you how often he's been talking. Today he's been quite active. A couple of hours ago he was talking about Iran. An hour before that he was talking about Minnesota and ICE. Before that he was talking about health care. And prior to this post he was on the media doing a live discussion. And so the other stuff he was talking about didn't really have much of a hit, which is good. And so we've been able to maintain steady. So the market is closed on Monday because it's a holiday. And, so I'm going to be twiddling my thumbs. I started to look forward. I'm not a morning person. So I started to get, to a point where I'm looking forward to doing this. And so when today he told me that they weren't going to be doing a live, I was like, all right, that means I'm going to go in by myself and check it out. I reached out to him earlier in the day to see we pretty much put the same trade on. So like I say, his formula works, mainly because we almost practically put on the same trade. So it's almost like I'm in Robert's brain when I'm looking at this thing and I'm choosing my stuff and whatnot, and boom. And so I was like, whoa, man, I'm happy to see I played the move right. I was nervous, but I just looked at my notes, these are my notes, I just look at it, I follow it down, and step by step, I check it twice to make sure I do my calculations twice, just to make sure. And there's still a lot of stuff I don't understand. Like all these numbers there's a lot of stuff over here. Each day I'm learning more and more. And apparently you can customize your home screen and all of that stuff. And so, but I'm still learning day by day. But I know if I can do it, you hear people say this all the time, if I can do it, you can do it. But you just got to follow the plan. And like Robert was discussing in the previous video, the interview that we did, if you haven't watched that interview, go check it out. I'll put a link down in the description. But you got to treat this like a business. I get up every day at 7 so I can be up and dressed and kind of reading the news in advance so I can kind of get a little head start on them. Because I know that they can read it, they know what it's talking about. I got to read it and kind of decipher it more and more and type in Gemini, AI to say, hey, what does this mean? What does that mean? So that way when I do get on a call, I'm halfway intelligent about what's going on. But I treat it like a business. I'm getting up every morning. I'm doing it. At the end of the day, I look at my notes and try and understand what I did, how it could be done better. Like on the day I had that small technicality loss. Great trade, but it was a technicality issue that popped up and I lost $124, but I wanted to understand why I lost. And so I spent the next 2 days just reading, trying to understand what happened and how it could be prevented. I'm a type of person who like to look at a variety of sources to get an understanding from multiple viewpoints, but I only follow one. But I will listen to other viewpoints just so I can kind of frame it in my head and come to my own conclusion and whatnot. So that's how I've been learning. Believe it or not, I didn't understand what the bullish meant when I first got in here. A bull market, a bear market. The bullish market, it means the market is going up, and the way they came with that, because they said the bull had his horn, and when he charged somebody, and he yanked him up. So it's a bearish market, he's going up. And the bear market means the market is going down, and the way they came up with that is when the bear come and smack you down with his paw, it's going in a downward motion. So the bearish market. So little things like that. Like I say, it might look like I'm crazy and ignorant, you know what I mean? Because I'm just learning this stuff, So it's good to be learning about money. And the thing about this book, he's trying to get you to understand that one of the ways you're going to win at money is understanding the fact that you have enough. Sometimes people will risk everything for something that they don't have. They risk everything to get something that they want to have, and they don't have it now, but they'll put everything on the risk to get it. And he's trying to get you to understand that man, enough is enough. And if you don't understand, if you can't get to a place where enough is enough, the goal line, it constantly moves forward and you're constantly chasing it. You make 100,000, now you want 300,000. You got 300,000, now you want 500,000. You got 500,000, now you want 1,000,000. You always wanting more. You're comparing yourself to the next guy. I mean, like Bill Gates, I mean, Warren Buffett making like 80, almost $100 billion. You know, there's somebody above him. There's never an end. You know what I'm saying? And so that greed is a real thing. And another, I mean, I can understand how this trading can get you, because one day you make 0.5%, the next day you make 1%, and now you want to make 1% every day, and then once you get to one day you make a 1.5%, now you want to make 1.5 every day. You constantly chasing, and that's one of the guys that's in the group. He's very conservative. Enough is enough for him. Happy, content, steady. And so I hope to get to a point like that, and where enough is enough. And but now I'm enjoying the learning phase, the learning process. So right now I'm just mumbling. So I'm gonna check back in when there's about 3 minutes left, and we'll hear the bell ring together. But as you can see, so far, so good. Don't pay attention to my lines. I saw them making lines on their charts, and they explained what they were doing, but I didn't really understand what they were talking about. But it makes sense to me right here. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. So I can't wait to report back to y'all on what this account is looking like, say 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. I can't wait to do an update in December just to see how this account has grown and how much I've grown in terms of financial responsibility. It's amazing that at 52 years old, I'm finally just starting to really invest, and that I hadn't done this sooner. But because I have a lot of time on my hand now, a lot more freedom and relaxation and peace and more money now, because cost of living is not so expensive in Mexico. I have money saved up. I was able to put it into my trading account, and it's amazing what 4 years, how life looks much different now than it did 4 years ago. Night and day. So Mexico has been great for us. And hey, if you're struggling back in them states, man, Mexico is the way out. So explore, do your research, and I'll see you in a few more minutes. All right, so we are at the 3-minute mark. The market's going to be closing shortly, and oh no, I'm looking in the wrong camera. Market's going to be closing shortly, and hey, we're going to see if we're going to make this money today, man. I'm excited. Look like it's going to win. We're coming at the end of the day, and y'all, look. I'm on my first day trading by myself. I'm following the program. I'm gonna follow the program, and that's half the battle. Look, so today, $5,000 in the account. We started, the balance of $5,128, and let's see here. Look like it's gonna close out at. Up here, we can see $5,204.76. That's about 1.5%. And like I say, Robert teaches earning just 0.5% to 1% a day. So this is 1.5. So we right at the end. This is where this once it hit this little green, this the gray, light gray box. It's 3 o'clock our time, 4 o'clock Eastern time. The market ends. We got about 36 seconds left, and we're gonna hear a bell. I hope y'all are able to hear it when it rings in the background. I'm starting with $5 grand. That's all I had, all that I was comfortable with starting out. You know, like I said, it's starting a business. I'll spend more than $5 grand starting a business, you know, brick and mortar, buying inventory and supplies. So this was a cheaper way. Here comes the bill. 3, 2, 1. Y'all hear that? So I made it. So this cleared out, zeroed out, and so I have 5,000. So I'm gonna bring my account over. So this is my Charles Schwab account. Let's see here. So we started out the day. It was earlier this morning. It showed $5,128. And right now it's $5,205.28. Actually, $5,204.76. This is an account that I had set up for Haley that was adding the 52 cents to the total. But $5,204. So 1.49% is what I earned. It was a plus $76. Now look, $76 off of $5 grand. I mean, if you had your money in the bank for a year, $5 grand just sitting in the bank in your savings account, you wouldn't even make $76 in the whole year. Here we are, we're getting the $76 in a day. Now, I'm just gonna be extreme with these numbers. So let's say we earned $76 a day. There's 20 trading days in a month. So on average, so let's say $20, 20 days, $76. I'm just gonna keep it simple. 76.44 times 20. Times 20 days is $1,528. So as if you were winning at 1.5%, which you're not going to be winning at 1.5%. But the idea that you could earn $1,500 with very little risk with a $5,000 investment, that's crazy. That's 20%. Because you're earning one. Actually that's 30%. Because you're earning 1.5% per day for 20 days. Now let's bring it back to earth, and let's just say you were earning the 0.5%. The 0.5% would be giving you $50 per day. $50 times $20, 20 days is $1 grand. You'll be earning $1,000 a month on 0.5% of $5,000. So if you had 10 grand, 0.5% a day, you would be earning $50. I know it don't sound like much. $50 a day. I think I did the math wrong. I think that was $25 on $5 grand per day. My apologies. So go back and redo the math. $25 times 20 days. But if you had 25 grand and you were just earning 0.5%, you would be earning about $125 per day. If you had $50,000 and you were trading with $50,000 and earning just 0.5% a day, you'll be earning about $250 per day. That's a lot of money. So if you had $50,000 and let's say you earned the 1.5% that we did today, that would be a $750 bonus. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. So if you had 50,000 and you was earning and you earned 1.5% today, that would have been $750 that you would have made today. And with $25,000, you would have earned $375 today. So again, it don't sound like much, but compounded. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I love it. So listen, if you like to learn, I'm not the teacher. I'm just following the teacher's plan. Hit up Robert's website, slowlifetrading.com, and slowlifetrading.com, like stock trading, slowlifetrading.com, link in the description. Check them out. You know what I'm saying? I met quite a few of his students, and I've been hearing their success stories over the years, and I was just never ready to really get in until recently. And I'm happy to share this journey with you. Like anybody else jumping into something new, there is a learning curve. I am learning. I'm excited about learning this. I took a Kobe test, which is it's different than a personality test, and sometimes they give you show you the jobs that you would excel in, and ironically, day trading was one of it. And, you know, I like to do research, data analysis, understanding, break things down to understand why, and so this is right up my alley now that I'm jumping deep into it. You know. So I hope to see y'all inside his members area, and you know, this is a great thing for those of you all that are looking to earn extra money. As always, you know, and Robert had disclaimers when he talked about the trading and stuff, and you know, I'm gonna put the same disclaimer. I'm gonna say the same thing in my own words. You know. Don't play with any money that you're unwilling to lose. You know, because the potential to lose money is very real. It's very great. If you just come in here going willy-nilly, I think that's why it's important to make sure you're learning from someone who can teach you and not be trying to figure this stuff out on your own. You can cut down the learning curve a lot. This is something I never would have hopped into on my own, trying to figure it out. You know, Robert talks about this stuff all the time. when we hanging with him, that's all he be talking about. And so it finally, it makes sense. This is his passion. This is something he's been doing for 20 years, I believe. And you know, this is not me trying to sell you on this program, but this is me trying to say, if you're looking for another way to make money, this is a great business opportunity to hop into, because that's exactly what it is. It is a business. You have to show up. You have to study. You have to do your research. You have to do your homework. You have to learn. You're learning an entirely new skill. You know, just like starting a business. You know, I think about Move Abroad and Thrive when I started that, man. There were days I was out and got 30,000 steps in because I'm walking around with my camera and I'm showing the city. And as a result of showing the city, I started to learn the city. I got to know all the areas, how much homes cost, the best places to live, the worst places to stay. That's 4 years of collective knowledge and work. I know a lot about this place, where to live, where you shouldn't live, but that comes from the constant day in and day out of learning Merida. You know, I can tell you things and tell you where to go with my eyes closed without having to look at a map. I can just say blah, 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 who to go to, where to go, but that comes with studying. So that's the same thing with this. No business you get into is going to be easy. This is not a get rich quick thing. In fact, this is a get poor thing, and you can get poor overnight with this thing. You know what I mean? That's how real the risk is. So that's why it's important that you run this like a business. You wouldn't go open up a pizza shop on the corner and just open it up overnight, throw some pizzas in the oven and think you're going to be making money the next day. Most folks never heard about your pizza business. They don't know anything about it. And you hadn't cooked pizzas long enough to know if anybody even wants your pizza. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing with this. You got to get in, you got to put your time in, learn. And for me, learning by earning $25 in a day, $30 the next day, then down to $23 the next day, lose $124, and then, you know, it's all part of the process. And so you got to go into the mindset that, you know, this is a job, this is a business, and it's one that can really work if you're willing to work it. If you're looking for fast money, this ain't it. I've always been a fast money guy, which is one of the reasons I bought this book, is so I can try to get out of that mindset. And I've made a lot of fast money, but that fast money, it leaves fast too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's going to take it's taking me great discipline just to leave the earnings in there and let it continue to roll over and compound. That's going to be the struggle I deal with, you know. And watching it grow and not being tempted to swipe it out to go buy something or pay something off and whatnot. So I hope you found this valuable, helpful, useful. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing your life change as mine has over the last 4 years, 4.5 years since moving to Mexico. And as always, if you're looking for advice and help and need guidance on making the move to Mexico, visit our website, moveabroadandthrive.com. And like I say, if you want to learn more about trading, hit up Robert's site, www.slowlifetrading.com. Thank you.